Professional news. I'm watching 90 Day, The Last Resort, Season 2's therapist shortage, and it's starting to bug me. The reality television series, 90 Day, The Last Resort, has gained a large following thanks to its portrayal of couples attempting to navigate complex relationships and resolve issues that have arisen from their international partnerships. However, as the show enters its second season, a growing concern among viewers is the apparent shortage of qualified therapists, and it's beginning to bug many who are following the season closely. The lack of qualified professionals. One of the main draws of 90 Day, The Last Resort, is the idea that the couples will receive therapeutic intervention to address their struggles. In past seasons, this professional support has been a key element in trying to resolve conflicts in relationships that, at their core, may be affected by cultural differences, language barriers, and the general pressures of navigating love and commitment in a foreign country. However, in Season 2, fans have noticed something unsettling: the apparent lack of qualified therapists. While it's expected that relationships portrayed on reality TV would have access to mental health professionals and counselors, many viewers have been quick to point out that the therapists presented on the show are not always up to professional standards. Limited diversity of expertise. In the earlier seasons, the show used a more varied array of therapists with backgrounds in different methods of counseling, ranging from marriage therapists to trauma specialists. These professionals often brought specific expertise to the table, which allowed the couples to dive deep into their issues and work through them in meaningful ways. But in Season 2, the therapist pool seems much more limited. Critics argue that the limited number of therapists on the show is reducing the quality of the intervention offered to participants. The show appears to be relying on a smaller group of individuals, which means couples are receiving a more homogenized experience of therapy. This lack of diversity in the therapeutic approaches feels less nuanced and can create a feeling that the show isn't truly investing in helping the couples in meaningful ways. Questionable credentials. Even more troubling for some viewers are the questions raised about the therapists' qualifications. Allegations have surfaced about certain individuals on the show lacking the required credentials to provide the level of counseling depicted. One therapist, for example, was called out for lacking a valid license in mental health counseling or therapy. While reality TV has long faced scrutiny over the authenticity of the individuals involved, whether their participants are professionals, the stakes are higher when it comes to the portrayal of therapy and mental health. Viewers who expect a level of professionalism are left questioning whether the therapy sessions are genuine or merely scripted for drama. If the therapist's qualifications are in question, it raises concerns about the integrity of the therapeutic process presented to the audience. The impact on the show's authenticity. The therapist shortage isn't just an issue for viewers concerned about qualifications. It's also affecting the authenticity of the show. Reality television has a long history of amplifying conflicts in relationships for the sake of drama, and when it comes to sensitive issues like therapy and mental health, this can cross an ethical line. Some viewers have expressed frustration that the therapy sessions on 90 Day, The Last Resort, often feel more like staged moments rather than meaningful interventions. Critics argue that the couples' struggles are sometimes exaggerated for the sake of sensational moments, which undermines the real therapeutic work that could be done. Moreover, the therapeutic exercises, such as exercises that feel out of place or force intimacy between couples, have sparked debate about whether they're truly effective or more of a spectacle designed to entertain rather than heal. Therapy should be a space for trust and growth, and many fans feel that the show is exploiting that in ways that compromise the couple's emotional well-being. What does this mean for the future of the show? As 90 Day, The Last Resort, continues to gain popularity, the concerns surrounding the therapist shortage are unlikely to disappear. Viewers are becoming more discerning about what they see on screen, and many are beginning to demand more transparency when it comes to the professionals brought onto the show. While it remains to be seen how the show will address these criticisms, the growing discomfort with the portrayal of therapy and counseling may eventually lead to changes in future seasons. For now, however, the therapist shortage in Season 2 is leaving many fans questioning whether the show is still delivering on its promise to provide real, professional help to the couples it features. I hope this article captures the concerns you're interested in. Would you like me to go deeper into any particular aspect of the show? I'm watching 90 Day, The Last Resort, Season 2's therapist shortage, and it's starting to bug me. 90 Day, The Last Resort Season 2 had a different vibe from the first season, and I wonder if this small change has anything to do with it. The Last Resort Season 2 is close to coming to an end. The couples are sharing their final days in the resort and are hoping to smooth over some rough edges so they can go home in a better spot than when they arrived. Unfortunately though, I think most of the 90 Day Fiancé franchise couples haven't made much progress. They may even be in a worse spot from when they first appeared in Season 2. Upon reflection, there seems to be one major difference between the two seasons: the number and types of therapists accessible to the couples. While this difference may not be the only culprit for the couple's lack of progress, I think it plays a major role in their healing process. The Last Resort, Season 1 had more counselors and real, inner healing work. In Season 1, there were at least 3 therapists that the 90 Day Fiancé couples engaged with. There was Dr. Jennie Lacey, a trauma expert, and Dr. Jason Prendergast, a temperament therapist who specializes in marriage counseling. There was also Drive, Petty Silveira, the Jennie Slaton look-alike who specialized in past life regression. Then there was also Reba Kareen, a sex therapist who also appeared in a few episodes to help the group as a whole and the couples individually. All these therapists certainly played a large role in Season 1, along with the host and life coach of the series. Most episodes featured at least one therapy session, and the couples saw the therapists on a rotating schedule to gain all the tools necessary for a healthy relationship. While the efficacy of some tactics was questionable, such as Big Ed Brown's past life regression session, inner healing and therapy were major cornerstones of the first season. The couples of Season 1 seemed to get along better, make more progress towards their goals, and most all decided to recommit by the end of their stay. The Last Resort, Season 2 has fewer counselors and more chaos. Season 2 seems to have had a major shift. There are still a handful of therapists roaming around the resort, but they're not as obvious as in the first season. Mostly it's just the life coach, Sarah Malone, who's navigating the Season 2 couples and their shenanigans. Reba, the same-sex therapist from Season 1, did make a brief appearance to help Josh and Natalie in a private session. However, their session ended in a major blowout and the pair separated for the rest of the day. Josh and Natalie aren't the only couple who seem to have issues beyond repair. Rob Warren and Sophie Sierra were in a screaming match first thing in the morning after their camping trip. Natalie was upset because she thought Josh was body-shaming her. Meanwhile, Julia Trubkina and Brandon Gibbs's progress plummeted after she revealed she cheated on him earlier in their relationship. Since these couples seem to have more issues than in the first season, I would have expected more inner healing work for them to do. More therapy sessions to improve their communication and more opportunities to execute real skills that would help their relationships. Yet it seems as though the couples are left mainly on their own and mediators don't appear until the situation has escalated to an extreme point. Overall, I can't ignore the strong correlation in The Last Resort Season 2. The connection might not be related, but I do think it's interesting to acknowledge how the lack of therapy and therapists in the second season might be hindering the couples more so. The purpose of The Last Resort is to learn tools and practice healthy coping skills, so couples have a solid foundation to work on when they return home. Yet, it seems to me like the couples just keep spiraling. The 90 Day Fiancé couples still struggle